Hey Scorpio, how are you? Scorpio, thank you so much for being here. I'm just so happy that you're here. I'm excited to get this reading out for you guys. This is going to be a reading that's going to explore the topic of missed connections, or, the one that got away, right? We all may have or have one or have a few of those type of people, right? Where you meet someone and you develop an awesome relationship with them or an awesome rapport with them, but then things either just kind of make a left turn and you don't really pursue that relationship, or you decide to separate from this person, and they just become that one that you just kind of say, what if, right? So Scorpio, this won't resonate for everyone, possibly, of course. However, this is for Scorpio's Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, as well as Scorpio's crosswatcher. Because sometimes, this could be the crosswatcher being here looking for this energy within you, Scorpio, okay? It's been coming out that way for a lot of these readings, where I intend this, of course, for Scorpio or people with Scorpio in their chart. But then at the same time, there's just messages that I get that just tell me that it's also the energy from, the other person. This is a timeless message, okay? So this message won't have any restrictions as far as time frame. Just whenever you happen upon this video, okay? Scorpio. All right, Scorpio. Romantic feelings. It's safe for you to love very soon. And passion. 1 second, sorry. Okay. Scorpio, I'm feeling a lot of energy here. I'm feeling like this person may have come around for you at some point when you were like maybe either fresh out of something else, or you just weren't really sure about like the dating scene, but nevertheless, they came around very fast. There was a lot of passion, a lot of sexual energy, a lot of just wanting to be together. A lot of feelings were shared between one another. I do just feel as though, maybe you feel as though they possibly came around, or someone feels that they came around a little either prematurely, or, maybe like you asked for this person and they showed up sooner than you expected for them to show up. And it just really kind of made you kind of take a step back and say, oh, wait a minute. Okay. But nevertheless, you guys did share this connection. It was a beautiful connection. Okay. It just may have happened a little bit too soon for someone's liking, or for someone's comfort. Too soon for someone's comfort is what I'll say. So let's get some tarot to clarify this for you, Scorpio. Eight of Coins. That Eight of Coins has been coming up in all these readings. Eight of Coins, Eight of Wands, the Devil. Okay. Yeah. It's way too many cards, Spirit. I just need one more, and yeah, there we go. All right. And then the Five of Coins, or the Five of Pentacles. So, all right, look at Scorpio. This is what I feel. I feel like definitely there was work put into this, right? Maybe for some months, right? There was definitely some work put into this on one person's behalf. I feel like you guys may have traveled together. You may have gone different places together. Or, you know, if you were apart from one another while the other was traveling, I feel like you guys definitely made sure that you put in the work to make sure that you were connected and that you stayed interconnected with one another. I feel like communication may have gotten a little bit dull. With the Devil card next to the Eight of Wands, I feel like maybe there was some sort of communication barriers. Maybe both people here were trying to go in different directions. But ultimately, with the Five of Coins there, I do feel like someone in the matter kind of was saddened by all of this. In the end, someone was saddened here. With the Devil, I do feel like with the Devil Scorpio, I feel like you kind of became a toxic topic for them. But I do feel like it may be because, in spite of how you felt for them, Scorpio, you did restrict some things. You know, you weren't really sure if this was the safe bet for you. Yeah, there were romantic feelings, and, you know, yeah, like, you know, things happened pretty soon. But then also pretty soon into things, you know, maybe the passion that you saw in the beginning, maybe it turned cold. It possibly could have turned cold. Let's get some clarification. Please clarify this information for Scorpio, please. I do feel like some sort of there was like reciprocity on some levels, you know, but there was just this hidden degree of maybe possibly what Scorpio maybe wasn't allowing this other person to be completely in. Hierophant. Yeah, again, we have two people, and I just feel, okay, so I get the sense that, like, you know, there was one person here that was really focused on maybe work, and another person that maybe had like a lot more like ideals when it comes about work. So like, to say that, I mean, like, maybe one person here, like the both of you were like good at getting jobs done, getting things done. One person was more of like the tinkerer, and then the other person was more of the, you know, the pretty bells and whistles of it, where, you know, they worked better on the outside, you know, maybe traveling, communicating certain things, and the other person was just better at the more darker side, the more inner side of things, and how things actually fit together. It's a sense of where, like, one person had an attitude of, you know, things have to actually be well put together, while the other person is like, no, things can just run, you know. But either way, here I do feel like, you know, with the Hierophant there, maybe there was some sort of, I don't know, maybe you bonded well with one another in the church. Maybe there's a sense of tradition here, that someone's very traditional. Someone was very, you know, possibly religious, or into some sort of organized religion. And I feel like, you know, Scorpio, I feel like your person or you may have been trying to either convert religions, or, you know, you were just getting them more in touch with some spiritual aspect. Empress. Scorpio, the person that you could have been dealing with could have been a Taurus, could have been a Libra, may not be. Could have been a Taurus, Libra, Capricorn, but again, Taurus, definitely. But I feel like this person, was really looking forward to a very, was getting forward to really get to, they were looking forward to getting to know the very nurturing aspect of you, as opposed to like the darker aspect of you. And not to say that, you know, the darker aspect of you is bad. It's just to say that, sometimes, I know sometimes Scorpio can get into a pretty deep, dark energy, and, it may not really seem deep and dark, but to people on the outside looking in, it's just like, especially if you were dealing with somebody who usually has like a brighter disposition about things, and, things of a darker nature kind of like intimidates them or depresses them. As far as I can see right now, I feel like this was like a mutual kind of moving on. I don't feel like one person, left anyone ghosted. I don't feel like one person walked away and left the other person to deal with their feelings. I feel like this was a very mutual sort of thing, where it's like the both of you want the same goals. However, the road to those goals are completely different, and you more so are looking for someone that is going to be able to travel to that destination with you, right? And not just someone that'll meet you there, So, yeah, High Priestess falls out. Yeah. Yeah, Scorpio. There was a part of yourself that you just weren't opening up to. Or a part of yourself that you just weren't willing to allow to be vulnerable. You were closing yourself off. There were maybe certain secrets, possibly harmless, right? But there was just, again, a part of yourself that you just allowed to remain a mystery. And to this person, really, to your person, Scorpio, what it did was that's exactly what left them kind of like hanging on. It's because, it was the mystery. It was, well, if I leave them, then I'll never know what could really happen. So they stayed. They stayed around, and, maybe even to the degree of it becoming toxic to them and depressing them. And I mean, it's not your fault, right? I mean, you were just being yourself. And this person that you were dealing with, they wanted more from you, but they maybe didn't understand, or maybe you didn't give them the chance to understand that, that you were dealing with probably either matters of trust when it comes to serious or traditional relationships, or you possibly could have been dealing with, some sort of, well, I'm going to say it like some sort of pregnancy, possibly. Ooh, that better not be it. That better not be it, Scorpio. You better not have been pregnant and then didn't tell your person that you were pregnant. I mean, not that I'm judging you. I'm not. I promise I'm not. But it's just what I saw here. And it's all, honestly, and this is all major arcana. The funny thing is we got the Hierophant and then we got the High Priestess. So I do feel like the connection between you two, honestly, it really was a very spiritual connection. More so like you guys formed a brotherhood, well, or sisterhood, or, like you felt more of a brother-sister type relationship with them. Eventually, right? And maybe that was just something that you didn't really express to this person. And so, yeah, they were just kind of like hoping to hear information about how you're going to fit them in your life. But, you know, you're withholding information about what you really felt about them, and about maybe, you know, the passion and the romanticism in this kind of fading away. So if there's anything to be said between one another right now at this moment, what would they say to you, or what would you say to them? Or how do they feel? How do you feel? I'm sorry I couldn't do right by you. Okay. So Scorpio, I mean, maybe you might still look back at this person and just say, I really wish that I could have given you more of myself. However, you were, you just didn't feel as though it was the safe bet. You didn't feel as though it was the safest option for you to go with, in spite of the deep connection that you had with one another. Like, this could have been your divine masculine, or this could have been your divine feminine. But either way, there was definitely this abundant sort of nature that you did have with one another. The other card says, if I knew then what I know now, I would have made different choices. So Scorpio, yeah, you possibly could have had some moments of saying, dang, I really should have stuck it out with whoever, because, of however things may have transpired after that. Or you find yourself just, again, thinking about them, having them in your energy. Of course, we all do. I mean, you can't tell me that nobody doesn't think to a time when they were with someone else, even when you're with someone right now. You can't tell me, because that's how you draw your, that's where you draw your experiences from. That's how you are able to relate to others. Others is based off of experiences that you had with someone. So to some degree, whether you're conscious of it or not, they're definitely on your mind, or you're on their mind. You might be hearing some communication from them. You might be. Now, I do feel like, this conversation, if it happens, it's not going to happen at the first, on the first meeting. I feel like if you run into this person, I feel like it's probably going to be like it's going to be a lot of tension. It's going to be a lot of, it's going to be triggering to the other person. It's almost like unrequited love is here, but even though that card didn't pop up. Is it in the bottom of this deck? Oh, no. Well, whatever, but that's the energy that I do feel here. It's like it's unrequited love. Like, you were eager to meet someone. You were eager to dive into a relationship with someone, but the person that came along, even though you did like them and, you did experience passionate moments with them, I just feel like for whatever reason, you just felt as though it just wasn't really safe for you to really go there with them, or, that person just wasn't the safest option for you for whatever reason. So very soon after things really kind of started, I feel like things kind of really started to grow cold. You may have dived yourself into doing a lot more of your work. You may have dived yourself into a lot of travel. You may have been communicating with other people. Okay, Scorpio. Now, with that being said, of course, I do feel like this person may have been starting to kind of feel that disconnect from you. They have been kind of starting to feel a little bit out in the cold. They may have been kind of in a very toxic way, just kind of dwelling on the situation between you, whether they're like waiting on some sort of, or whether you had them waiting on some sort of answer from you. The Hierophant, the Empress, and the High Priestess is all that good major arcana, right? Where I just feel like, there's this point where, you guys were, it's like I still feel like even now you still kind of remain like maybe on each other's radar. You may still be like kind of close to this person, or you still may kind of know some of the same friends. You still maybe kind of operate within some of the same circles. But, you don't know everything, of course, about what's going on with them, and vice versa, right? But I do feel like, they still kind of come up in your energy every once in a while. I feel like you kind of feel like you wish that maybe you could have at least handled things a lot differently. Not that, you know, I don't feel like, again, I don't feel like you guys would be together. I just feel like in this moment, it's just, you do kind of wish as though you could say, you know, you could have handled it a little bit different, you know. Yeah. And then even the other person maybe could be saying here, if they knew then what they knew now, they would have made different choices. Yeah, they didn't know all the facts with the high priestess there. They were kept in the dark about certain things. Things wasn't really presented to them in a very clear way. You know, if they weren't looking for it, you know, they weren't going to see it. They weren't going to notice. And, you know, they just wish that, you know, had they been able to maybe even pick up on certain signs, you know, then, you know, it wouldn't have been such a big deal, because, you know, they may have already either have seen it before it was coming and they were able to prepare for it, or, you know, they may have possibly been the one to kind of start the end of this whole thing. So the advice here, we did have a couple of cards to fall out. The advice here would be, we have 11. Look into your inner strength, right? So we have that again, that high priestess energy with 11 or 2 and 2, right? So we have that look into your inner strength. You are stronger than you realize. And then the next card we have was card number 43. Love endures. Love does not give up or lose faith. Love is hopeful and withstands every situation. Yeah, so Scorpio, this is good, because this really tells me, yeah, that, you know, on a certain degree, you've really put this person kind of in a friend zone in a way. I don't feel like necessarily you've, you know, you're like saving them for later or anything like that. It's just like you've just kind of put them into this zone where you understand that, you know, you can still love, but I feel like you kind of maybe love this person from a distance. You know, so, you know, maybe you do keep in contact, but it's, you know, just on a regular basis, but like, you know, sparingly, you know, maybe once every couple of weeks, you know, you might hear something, a quick good morning or something like that, you know, nothing deep or anything. You don't want them to go that deep with you. I feel as though, I feel with this Empress card keeps jumping out at me. I feel like maybe there's some sort of mother figure here, or matriarch that, I don't feel like they had control of anything here in the matter, but I feel like you take this person into consideration. So maybe they may have said something that you just kind of took into consideration, which helped you come to the conclusion to not be with this person. Maybe you could be hiding something from your mother, maybe something from your parents. You could be hiding something. You could be hiding something in plain sight. Now that, if that's not a Scorpio trait, no offense. But Scorpio, I'm going to go ahead and let you guys go with that one. This was a this was a really tough read. I'm not even gonna lie, this is a really tough read, and I think it's because, you know, Scorpio, you're not really looking for this energy. This is probably the energy of the other person lingering, but, you know, I don't think that you're necessarily looking for this energy. You might just be feeling this energy. If this is somebody that you know and they've been kind of popping up on your mental a lot lately, it's really because they are the one that are like putting out that energy, whether they know it or not. Okay. So with that being said, Scorpio, yeah, I'm going to go. And if you want to book a personal reading with me, you can. You can just always email me at LuminantLibraTarot@gmail.com, and we can go ahead and get that set up for you. Make sure that you do like and subscribe. Of course, I do invite you to subscribe. And of course, I love all of your comments and your likes and your shares. Again, do not stress or force any of these messages to fit for you where it doesn't fit, because all you do is you just end up wasting your own time when you could already be watching another video. And I'm not being mean about it, I promise you. I understand. I don't think everyone understands that sometimes, you know, a message just doesn't resonate to them, and that's okay. But anyways, Go, Scorpio. Have a good one. I'm going to let you guys go. Bye.